The Simpsons predicted a nuclear war with China starting in just an hour. Even though it was just a drill, the idea of missiles hitting the U.S. mainland terrified the family. Following the instructions on TV, the whole family rushed to their safe room for cover. But sitting there for 3 hours was beyond boring, so Lily had an idea. She suggested they check out the empty streets. Soon, John was speeding through Springfield. As they passed City Hall, they noticed the parking lot was packed with cars. Something felt off. When the family burst through the doors, they were in for a shock. It turned out to be a secret meeting, and the topic was how to kick the Simpsons out of town. Mary wanted to know why everyone was so bitter and why they wanted them gone so badly. The mayor immediately pulled out John's record of causing millions in damages while driving drunk. Then there was Bart's stadium prank that caused a massive pollution disaster. And while Lily's environmental activism didn't cost money, it definitely annoyed everyone. Mary quickly apologized on stage, begging for one last chance for the family. She appealed to their sense of community. At first, her words really moved the crowd. People were literally in tears. But the mayor wasn't buying Mary's emotional plea. He argued that Mary was actually the root of all these problems. The crowd snapped out of it and demanded they leave. Even good old Ned showed up to say they shouldn't rush into this. But the mayor was one step ahead. He had already prepared a plan to handle any objections. Before being kicked out, the family was paraded through the streets. John was even covered in tar and feathers. It was pure humiliation. At the border, the mayor read the official exile order as John cursed the town. "Once we're gone," he shouted, "you'll all face 1,000 years of drought." The Simpsons left Springfield and drove for what felt like forever. John finally stopped the car when Bart really had to go. Suddenly, a giant gun was pointed at John. A man told them to go back where they came from. Mary stepped up to explain their situation. She told him they had nowhere left to go and just wanted a quiet life. The man realized they were outcasts too. This was actually a haven for people rejected by society. Once the Simpsons officially joined, the production team even made a special intro for them. Let's take a look at the comparison. To see what happens next in the story, you can jump ahead right here. While the family settled in, Mary was still worried about Maggie's education in this new place. It wasn't just the Simpsons here. Even the WikiLeaks base was set up nearby. Julian Assange was roasting a ham and invited John over to watch a movie. Interestingly, Assange actually recorded his lines over the phone while in custody in the UK. We'll talk more about why he did a cameo later. After talking to him, Mary felt he was a bit odd and started missing their old neighbor Ned. She really wanted to go home. John thought about it and realized they were just banned, not blocked from visiting. So John disguised himself as Mr. Burns, and Mary went as Smithers. Standing on top of the giant donut, looking at the familiar town, they got all nostalgic. They headed back to their house, tore off the police tape, and went to the bedroom to get cozy. Suddenly, a gang of local punks showed up, wanting to turn the house into their secret hideout. The sound of a drill downstairs startled them. John scrambled to grab his clothes. The punks stopped because they heard a weird noise from upstairs. Specifically, the sound of someone picking up extra-large underwear. They went to investigate and walked right into John and Mary. By then, the police were already waiting. The citizens of Springfield surrounded them. Moe wanted to do something extreme. Krusty the Clown wanted them to write jokes for him, which is its own kind of torture. Gil was even more intense, suggesting they just shoot them. The chief told everyone to calm down. He said no one was shooting anyone. Probably. Mary was heartbroken. She realized this civilized community wasn't half as warm as their rundown shack in the woods. She was done with Springfield. Now she just wanted to go back to where they truly belong. With her mind at peace, Mary started farming. Suddenly, there was a noise in the bushes. Maggie and Bart helped pull Lenny out of the brush. It turned out his friend Carl was there too. They left Springfield because they were bored of the same old routine and wanted a change. Moe even moved his entire tavern there. One by one, the residents of Springfield started moving to the new spot. They slowly turned it into a new version of their old town. Even the mayor showed up eventually. He figured the place needed a corrupt government. Back in old Springfield, only the principal was left behind. The song playing at the end is a classic from 1939. It's "We'll Meet Again" by Vera Lynn. It was huge during World War II and really hit home for soldiers and their families. During the Cold War, it was often associated with life after a nuclear strike, which ties back to the start of the episode. The ending credits thank viewers for watching the 500th episode. The staff was actually nervous that fans would hate it. They joked that people should go outside for some fresh air before complaining online. Many felt the show started losing its edge after this point. During season 23, honestly, watching it now, it doesn't feel that different from a regular episode. At first, the crew didn't even plan for it to be a special milestone, but the writers eventually decided to turn it into something big. Back in February 2012, they even held a Simpsons Ultimate Fan Marathon. The challenge was to see who could watch the most episodes in one sitting. The winner got $10,000 and a bunch of exclusive merch, because this was marketed as such a huge event. When it aired on February 19, 2012 on Fox, it pulled in 11.48 million viewers. That beat both Family Guy and American Dad at the time. Now about why Assange was in the episode. He had recently leaked truths about the military in Afghanistan and Iraq, making him a wanted man by the U.S. government. The creators heard a rumor that he wanted to be on the show. Matt Groening checked with the casting director to see if it was true. It turned out Assange hadn't specifically asked, but he was down to do it if invited. That's how his phone-recorded cameo happened. There's also a funny scene where Maggie's fight parodies a famous moment from Mad Max. The jet engine John modified was from the old Braniff International Airways. The evidence the mayor used against the family all referred to previous episodes, though some details were slightly tweaked for the gag, like the drunk driving incident in season 10. Lenny and Carl were actually there too, and Bart's flood prank from season 2. Moe and the principal weren't actually in that scene. Even Lily's photo with the goldfish from season 4 wasn't the original image. By the way, I just started a fan group. I'll be posting updates and previews there. If you're interested, feel free to join us. Finally, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, everyone.